Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over a 2022 Toyota Tacoma Trail Edition and then also a TRD off-road. I feel like this would be a pretty good comparison, right? Because a lot of people might be deciding whether they should go for trail or TRD off-road since they're so similar in price and specs are actually pretty similar as well. Now, first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Toyota here in Murray for having both of the trucks. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And this is going to be kind of like a new video series for the second channel where I film some cars that I just noticed that don't necessarily have time for a full review, but can get you guys a little quick walk around. Let's get into it. So let's do a quick comparison with the Tacoma Trail Edition and a TRD off-road, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be comparing these two trucks to each other. First off, under the hoods of both the trucks, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6, goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission, good for 278 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque. So from a powertrain perspective, they're identical. Starting over here with the TRD off-road, you guys can see you still have the signature Tacoma hood with the body lines that pop out quite a bit with the black paint. Now this one has the LED headlights, which you guys know I definitely recommend. It makes the truck look a whole lot better, and it adds a level of practicality with the added brightness. And then you can see the fog lights down below. You've got the regular Toyota logo there in the center of the camera, just down below that. And then you guys can see the signature Tacoma grille right there. And then we've got the high ground clearance front bumper, and you do get skid plates with the TRD off-road package. That's kind of part of that package itself. And I'll show the window stickers on both of them so you guys can see the specifics with each package. You do get more aggressive all-terrain tires. Then you get the off-road wheels, which also look pretty aggressive as well. Bilstein shocks from the factory in the front, and then you guys will see those in the rear as well. And those are finished in blue, just kind of pops a little bit. You can see the fender flares, and then again with the wheels, just look how aggressive those are. Definitely love the overall aesthetic of the wheels with the TRD off-road. And then moving on from that, notice the Tacoma logo is finished in chrome. Got the body painted mirrors here on the side, and then door handles, body painted, all that stuff. And then you can see here with the oversized fender flare in the rear. And then again, all-terrain tire. And if you guys are wondering, the wheels on the Tacoma are 16-inch wheels is what they go for. And then you can see the Bilstein shock there in the rear. And then the Tacoma still uses leaf springs for the 2022 model year. They haven't gotten rid of those. TRD 4x4 off-road sticker there on the very back. And then you guys can kind of see the side profile and the stance on the truck. The stance is going to be very important. You guys will see why in a little bit. And then the exhaust tip popping out the side. And then you can see the normal Tacoma taillights. Get your V6 badge and then the Tacoma logo stamped into the bed. Receiver hitch there at the very bottom, and parking sensors on the back bumper. And you guys can see here with the Toyota logo, there's a camera right next to it. And then we've got the composite bed here. So that means you don't have to worry about doing spray and bed line or anything like that, because it already comes where you can basically beat it up from the factory, which is definitely a huge plus. And a pretty decent bed size. Now, popping over here to the window sticker. So the TRD off-road is a package itself, like a whole trim level. So the stuff for the TRD off-road's in the standard equipment section. You guys will see most of the stuff there in the mechanical and performance. Feel free to freeze the frame. But basically, it gives you the Bilstein shocks, locking rear differential, and you've got the 2-speed transfer case, all that fun stuff. And then you can see this one has the premium package with the LED lights. Again, I recommend getting the LED lights. They're definitely worth it. They're worth the extra money. And then finally finishing things up with this window sticker, you guys can see here with the total price, $45,000, just over $45,000 for the total MSRP on the TRD off-road, and that one's again the premium package. So it does have a nicer interior. Now popping over here to the Trail Edition, you guys notice this one has the base headlights with it, and then you can see there's no fog light down below. It's completely empty. And then notice the air dam here, pretty big. I thought that was interesting. And then notice with the Toyota front grille, it's got the old school Toyota logo and then a sensor just down below it, so it looks a little bit different. And then you got the tow hook there. But again, it's pretty interesting that they have the larger air dam on that, so it's a little bit less practical from an off-road perspective compared to the TRD off-road. And then you can see the wheels are pretty aggressive. I got the bronze wheels that come with the Trail Edition, and again, aggressive all-terrain tires, 16-inch wheels, just like the TRD off-road. Now this doesn't have Bilstein shocks, it just has off-road shocks and suspension. You can see it's quite a bit higher, sits quite a bit higher than the TRD off-road. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. And I'll show you guys like a complete side-by-side so you can really see. And then notice we got the splash guard right there just behind it. And then the Tacoma badge is blacked out instead of finished in chrome, which is another key difference. Still have the body painted mirror, body painted door handles on top of that. And then popping over here to the rear, still have the oversized fender flare. And then you guys can see here with the tire and wheel setup, just like what you have in the front. I think the bronze wheels look really good. And then again, leaf springs here, and then you can see the off-road shock. So I think it's just something that's made by Toyota from the factory. So that's why it just says off-road shocks basically on the window sticker, and you guys will see that later. Notice the blacked out badges, still parking sensors in the rear, still have the 4x4 badge, and then also you have the Trail badge as well, so that everyone knows you got the Trail Edition. And then you do get the bed storage as part of the Trail Edition package. So if you like that storage, then package is definitely worth going for just because of that. And then it also comes with LED lights here in the bed, so that is another little bit of an upgrade, and a full power outlet, which I thought was a pretty cool thing that they added with this package. And then notice here at the little shark fin antenna, the army green looks pretty cool. Now, going to the window sticker, it's kind of the opposite, right? Because the Trail is now an optional package. It's not the trim level. So everything that's in the Trail Edition is over here in the optional equipment, notice. And so you guys can see everything that comes with the Trail Edition itself. Again, feel free to freeze a frame. But a ton of similar stuff, right? Locking rear differential. It's got, off-road tires and all that kind of stuff. And then look at the price, $397, sorry. Dyslexia right there, apparently. So it's a little bit less expensive. And then interior-wise, we didn't really get to go over that too much in this video. I think I tried to show it a little bit with both the trucks. Basically, the Trail Edition has a cloth interior, and then the TRD Off-Road has the vinyl leather interior, whatever you want to call it. It's vinyl, but like, we'll just call it the leather interior. So the TRD does have a nicer interior. But I want to show you guys just right next to each other. Like, look at the difference in terms of like the front especially. The Trail Edition sits quite a bit higher from a front end perspective. And then also notice with the splash guards. And then again with the badges like I mentioned earlier. And then even the rear end sits a little bit lower. The Trail Edition sits just a little bit higher from a rear end perspective. So it's kind of interesting because they've got the air dam, so that decreases ground clearance, but then it sits higher, which increases ground clearance. So it's kind of funny. I think the Trail Edition looks a little bit nicer, especially with the old school Toyota badge. But I think they're both good-looking trucks. Yeah, this is where I tried to show the interior, but the sun did not allow that. But like I said, you got a nicer interior with the TRD off-road package, and so that's kind of, I think that's part of where the $2,000 goes, is getting the nicer interior. But the cloth seats, I think, are more than adequate with that. But yeah, that's our quick little comparison with both of these trucks.